Washington Center just now, which is where the British were first met by the Minutemen. But the call had gone out to the countryside. There was over 4,000 colonists alerted that day, but it took them hours to get from the neighboring towns to Lexington, to Menominee, which now is present-day Arlington, and then, of course, right here in Concord. This is as far as the British went that day. They left Charlestown in Boston. It's almost a 21-mile march from Boston out to Concord, and then they had to turn around and march 21 miles back into Boston, okay? They came out to Lexington. It's 13 miles to Lexington without a shot being fired, okay? They got on the Lexington Green, and the Lexington Minutemen had just assembled. All right, now they were there just to say, look, you know, we're practicing and we're drilling on our green. We don't want to fight. We're not here to shoot anybody. But the British were so upset at the treatment they'd gotten in Boston. The Boston Tea Party, the Boston Massacre, all those events had happened, and tensions were running high that morning. No one really knows who fired the first shot. However, the Woburn Minutemen had experience at fighting. They had been fighting in the French and Indian War, and they were scouts. So Parker had enlisted them to scout out the British, and they had marched down the road from Lexington looking for the British. Of course, the British knew that they would be sending spies and scouts out, so they had been captured, shot. So the Woburn Minutemen were prisoners of the British that morning. And they came into Lexington Green, and they saw a couple of their friends hiding behind the stone wall. They made a mad break for it. They pushed their guards down, and they ran for the stone wall. They were shot in the back and killed. So the first casualties for the American Revolution were the 4 Woburn Minutemen who'd been captured as scouts earlier that morning by a dictator. Okay? They're buried in the old graveyard in Woburn Center. Right there on 38 in the town center. If you guys get a chance, you got to go see them. They've got some of the oldest gravestones in the cemetery. Pretty cool. Well, the British marched out through Concord Center. They were looking for cannon. We'd stolen 2 cannon from them. They wanted their 2 cannons back. Why they wanted our 2 instead of the 32 that were in the Springfield Armory? If we were going to have a war and we wanted cannon, we would have gotten a cannon out of Springfield. All right, there were 32 artillery pieces in Springfield. But the British felt it a personal affront that we'd stolen 4 of their guns, you know, 2 4-pounders and 2 6-pounders, and we had them hidden out here. You're going to see one of the cannons in the shop in a minute. All right. They came to Concord. There was no, Minutemen on the green. They marched right to the green. They came out here. Right. This is where they first saw the Minutemen that would actually keep them from advancing, all right? There were the Acton Minutemen, the Concord were here, Lincoln were here, all right? And when it came time to march down the bridge and chase the British off the bridge, Concord said, I'd rather not go first. You guys know what happens to the company that's in the lead, right? They get shot, right? You're first in line. Okay, everyone behind me, whoever's first is going to say, all right, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. So the front of the column gets pretty shot up. So it's like nobody wants to go first. Isaac Davis of the Acton Minutemen said, I haven't a man that's afraid to go, and I'll go first. Guess what happened to Isaac Davis? He died. He died here on the bridge. Okay, so that's why Acton is given the credit, okay, of actually stopping the British. Now, behind Acton was Concord, then there was a Littleton company, there was Lincoln, there was another Concord company. We had about probably 6 companies of Minutemen that morning by the time the British reached Concord, all right? So we had a bloody skirmisher on the bridge. We chased the bridge, cleaned up the Brits, and they ran back to Boston. And they were shot at from here all the way back to Charlestown that entire day. All right? So this is actually considered the birthplace of American liberty, right? Because this is where the first armed resistance went up by farmers. Okay, I'm dressed like a farmer. I portray a miller at the time. My reenactment person is Amos Locke. Okay, I'm a miller, and I work at one of the mills down in Lexington. All right? I'm a tour guide for the Minuteman National Historic Park. Okay, this is my uniform that I wear when I'm in the park. Right? I'm a colonial musician, okay? I don't have a gun. I have what they call a fife, all right? And it's a military signal device. I'm assigned with the captain, and I have a drummer with me, and we give communication to the men musically, all right? So I have music that I play that tell the men to advance, to retreat. The camp was run by music, actually. We woke the soldiers up in the morning, we play reveille. We put the camp to sleep at night, we play taps. There was a mess call. Okay, when it's time to eat, we played music, and that way the soldiers would hear the song from mess and know it was time to go get something to eat. All right? So remember you guys, this is like a museum here. We're going to go into the museum, and there's a gift shop. There's also restrooms in here and the drinking fountain, okay? This is as far as we're going to go. And there's 2 other stops you guys are going to make today. One of them will have restrooms and drinking fountain. The other one's going to be on your own, okay? So we're going to go in, and the ranger should be at the front desk, and we go in, and we're going to hook back and go into the museum. So let's go in and see. Ranger's ready for us.
This is so cool.
Remember, hoods and caps off. Remember inside, please. Just as responsible. So hoods and caps off, please. Just while we're inside.
These are big steps.
And a big door.